Ra. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. I communicate now. Questioner. Should we include the ritual that you have suggested that we used to call you in the book that will result from these sessions? Ra. I am Ra. This matter is of small importance, for our suggestion was made for the purpose of establishing contact through this instrument with this group. Questioner. Is it of any assistance to the instrument to have name and name present during these sessions? Does the number in the group make any difference in these sessions? Ra. I am Ra. The most important of the entities are the questioner and the vibratory sound complex, Jim. The two entities additionally aid the instrument's comfort by energizing the instrument with their abilities to share the physical energy complex, which is a portion of your love vibration. Questioner. You said yesterday that Maldek was destroyed due to warfare. If Maldek hadn't destroyed itself due to warfare, would it have become a planet that evolved in self-service, and would the entities have increased in density, gone on to say the fourth density, in the negative sense, or the sense of self-service? Ra. I am Ra. The planetary social memory complex, Maldek, has in common with your own sphere the situation of a mixture of energy direction. Thus it, though unknown, would most probably have been a mixed harvest, a few moving to fourth density, a few moving towards fourth density in service to self, the great majority repeating third density. This is approximate due to the fact that parallel probability vortices cease when action occurs and new probability vortices are begun. Questioner. Is there a planet behind our sun, opposite to us in orbit, that we do not know about? Ra. I am Ra. There is a sphere in the area opposite your sun of a very, very cold nature, but large enough to skew certain statistical figures. This sphere should not properly be called a planet, as it is locked in first density. Questioner. You say that entities from Maldek might go to fourth density negative. Are there people who go out of our present third density to places in their universe and serve, which are fourth density self-service negative type of planets? Ra. I am Ra. Your question is unclear. Please restate. Questioner. As our cycle ends and graduation occurs, is it possible for anyone to go from this third density to a fourth density planet that is a self-service or negative type? Ra. I am Ra. We grasp now the specificity of your query. In this harvest, the probability-possibility vortex indicates an harvest, though small, of this type. That is correct. Questioner. Can you tell us what happened to Adolf Hitler? Ra. I am Ra. The mind-body-spirit complex known as Adolf is at this time in an healing process in the middle astral planes of your spherical force field. This entity was greatly confused, and, although aware of the circumstance of change in vibratory level associated with the cessation of the chemical body complex, nevertheless, needed a great deal of care. Questioner. Is there anyone in our history that is commonly known who went to a fourth density self-service or negative type of planet, or who will go there? Ra. I am Ra. The number of entities thus harvested is small. However, a few have penetrated the 8th level, which is only available from the opening up of the 7th through the 6th. Penetration into the 8th or intelligent infinity level allows a mind-body-spirit complex to be harvested if it wishes at any time-space during the cycle. Questioner. Are any of these people known in the history of our planet by name? Ra. I am Ra. We will mention a few. The one known as Taras Bulba, the one known as Genghis Khan, the one known as Rasputin. Questioner. How were these? How did they accomplish this? What was necessary for them to accomplish this? Ra. All of the aforementioned entities were aware, through memory, of Atlantean understandings having to do with the use of the various centers of mind-body-spirit complex energy and flux, in attaining the gateway to intelligent infinity. Questioner. Did this enable them to do what we refer to as magic? Could they do paranormal things while they were incarnate here? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. The first two entities mentioned made little use of these abilities consciously. However, they were bent single-mindedly upon service to self, sparing no efforts in personal discipline to double, redouble, and so empower this gateway. The third was a conscious adept and also spared no effort in the pursuit of service to self. Questioner. Where are these three entities now? Ra. I am Ra. These entities are in the dimension known to you as fourth. Therefore the space-time continua are not compatible. An approximation of the space-time locus of each would net no actual understanding. Each chose a fourth density planet which was dedicated to the pursuit of the understanding of the law of one through service to self, one in what you know as the Orion Group, one in what you know as Cassiopeia, one in what you know as Southern Cross. However, these loci are not satisfactory. We do not have vocabulary for the geometric calculations necessary for transfer of this understanding to you. Questioner. Who went to the Orion Group? Ra. I am Ra. The one known as Genghis Khan. Questioner. What does he presently do there? What is his job or occupation? Ra. I am Ra. This entity serves the Creator in its own way. Questioner. Is it impossible for you to tell us precisely how he does this service? Ra. I am Ra. It is possible for us to speak to this query. However, we use any chance we may have to reiterate the basic understanding, learning that all beings serve the Creator. The one you speak of as Genghis Khan, at present, is incarnate in a physical light body which has the work of disseminating material of thought control to those who are what you may call crusaders. He is, as you would term this entity, a shipping clerk. Questioner. What do the crusaders do? Ra. I am Ra. The crusaders move in their chariots to conquer planetary mind-body-spirit social complexes before they reach the stage of achieving social memory. Questioner. At what stage does a planet achieve social memory? Ra. I am Ra. A mind-body-spirit social complex becomes a social memory complex when its entire group of entities are of one orientation or seeking. The group memory lost to the individuals in the roots of the tree of mind then becomes known to the social complex, thus creating a social memory complex. The advantages of this complex are the relative lack of distortion in understanding the social beingness, and the relative lack of distortion in pursuing the direction of seeking, for all understanding distortions are available to the entities of the society. Questioner. Then we have crusaders from Orion coming to this planet for mind control purposes. How do they do this? Ra. As all, they follow the law of one observing free will. Contact is made with those who call. Those then upon the planetary sphere act much as do you to disseminate the attitudes and philosophy of their particular understanding of the law of one, which is service to self. These become the elite. Through these, the attempt begins to create a condition whereby the remainder of the planetary entities are enslaved by their own free will. Questioner. How can you name any of the recipients of the Crusaders, any names that may be known on the planet today? Ra. I am Ra. I am desirous of being in non-violation of the free will distortion. To name those involved in the future of your space-time is to infringe, thus, we withhold this information. We request your contemplation of the fruits of the actions of those entities, whom you may observe enjoying the distortion towards power. In this way you may discern for yourself this information. We shall not interfere with the, shall we say, planetary game. It is not central to the harvest. Questioner. How do the crusaders pass on their concepts to the incarnate individuals on Earth? Ra. I am Ra. There are two main ways, just as there are two main ways of, shall we say, polarizing towards service to others. There are those mind-body-spirit complexes upon your plane who do exercises and perform disciplines in order to seek contact with sources of information and power, leading to the opening of the gate to intelligent infinity. There are others whose vibratory complex such that this gateway is opened and contact with total service to self with its primal distortion of manipulation of others is then afforded with little or no difficulty, no training, and no control.